Hey, my name is Matt Hodson. I like to demonstrate cooked vegan food and raw vegan food recipes. Today I'm going to demonstrate a cooked vegan food recipe called onion bhaji. It's an ethnic food recipe, it's an Indian food recipe, and onion bhaji is basically onion fritters made with chickpea flour. And I like to make onion bhaji when I make other Indian food recipes like curry, chickpea curry, and I eat it along with it. But this video is just going to be on the onion bhaji by itself, so for future reference in future videos I can go back and reference this video and say that onion bhaji would go well with it. So the ingredients are 1 large red onion or 2 medium-sized onions. I'm going to use 2 medium-sized sweet onions. I like sweet onions, it's personal preference. You also need 1 large carrot. Fresh cilantro. You can find fresh cilantro in the produce section of most grocery stores. And the special ingredient in this recipe is chickpea flour. Chickpea flour is just flour made from chickpeas. It's also known as garbanzo bean flour or besan, as this one's called, besan. This is authentic chickpea flour. If you look at the ingredients, all it says is chickpea flour. Chickpea flour is gluten-free. It's commonly used in Indian food, and I like it. So, chickpea flour. You're going to need water, salt, oil. I'm just going to use regular vegetable oil for this recipe. And then that's the basic recipe. You can add in whatever you want after that. You can add in some common Indian spices. I'm personally going to add in some turmeric. This is authentic Indian turmeric. It's out though, so I'm going to use just some regular turmeric I got from the grocery store. And I'm going to add a little bit of curry. This is extra hot curry. This is the kind of curry I just put a pinch in for, like, when I make chickpea curry and all that. So I'm actually going to use this regular curry I found at the grocery store. And then something else I like to throw in all Indian food just to make it taste more authentic is gram masala. You can find gram masala at most Indian grocery stores or international grocery stores. Gram masala is basically a mixture of other Indian spices. So this includes coriander, red chili, cumin, clove, anistar, mace, fennel seeds, black pepper, bay leaves, cinnamon, dry mango, salt, and clove leaves. So instead of buying all that stuff separately, just buy gram masala and it's right here all together. And that's it. So the first thing I'm doing is just chopping the onions. I used a knife to get them that size, and I'm going to use a chopper to chop them down smaller. But I don't like them too small, so I'm going to do it a few times. So that's about the size I like right there. And I'm just kind of throwing them in this container. And I'm going to go ahead and finish what I got, and I will get back with you. So next I'm just grating the carrot. I went ahead and peeled it, rinsed it off, and I'm just grating it now. Next I'm just going to chop about a handful of parsley. This is about half the bunch that I showed before. And the first thing I'm going to do is just cut the stems off and then just chop it up with the knife. It would help if I had a tripod for my camera, but I don't right now, so it's kind of hard to get shots of this. So I'm just going to cut the stems off like I said, which are right here. And then I'm just going to just use a chopping motion to just chop them up pretty fine. Guess I could get a shot like this. I'm also doing the method of putting my hand on the blade like this, just going back and forth, just kind of moving around and doing it again. Okay, so there are all the ingredients right there. Everything is ready to go. Got the chopped onions, got the grated carrot, got a couple cups of the chickpea flour, and got the chopped cilantro. So now that the ingredients are ready, I need to mix everything together before I cook them. So what I'm going to do is put all the onions in a bowl, put the carrots in the same bowl, and put the cilantro in the same bowl. So now I have a bowl of the onion, carrot, and cilantro. I'm just going to mix it up a little bit. Alright, so that is mixed together. And now it's time to take the batter ingredients and mix those together. So I'm going to take the 2 cups of chickpea flour, put them in a separate bowl from the dry ingredients. And then I'm going to mix some water in there. So this is the tricky part, because how much water you need depends on how much flour you need. How much flour you need depends on how much onions you're going to use. So you basically just want to kind of play it by ear. Just get enough water in there to mix up the flour. You want the batter to be thick enough to cover the vegetables and spoon into the oil, but you don't want it to be runny at the same time. So I think I need a little bit more water. I think there was 3 cups in here. It's a little over a cup so far that I've used. And just going to stir that up. And of course, if you make it too runny, you can add extra flour to it, which I think I might need to do that, because now it's a little too runny. Just add a little bit of flour to it. And just mix that up. And that's pretty good right there. See how it is still workable, but it's not too runny and it's not sticking together too much. So now I'm going to add some spices to the water flour mixture, the batter. I'm going to put, I guess I'll put a teaspoon of turmeric in there. Turmeric is a very common Indian spice. I'm also going to put, I think I'll do half a teaspoon of curry powder. Curry powder is obviously an Indian spice. We use it in curry as well. And let's see, I think I'll do 1 teaspoon of salt as well. So in that goes. Maybe a little more than a teaspoon. And don't forget the gram masala. I think I will do just a teaspoon of gram masala, because gram masala is pretty strong, so and that goes. So now that all the spices are in there, I'm just going to mix it up a little bit more. I'm going to put just a little bit more water in there. Ooh. That was a little more than I wanted. If you put too much water in there, just put more flour in there. It's that simple. And that looks pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the batter and combine it with the dry ingredients. So I'm just going to put the batter into the dry ingredients bowl. You might want to use a rubber spatula just to make sure you get it all out. And now just going to mix that together. So you get something like that. And while that is kind of just sitting there and thickening up, I'm going to heat some oil in a pan. So I'm just going to pour some oil in a pan, because we're going to want to fry these. And we're going to want a decent amount of oil. That should be good. And I'm just going to put it on medium heat. And let that heat up a little bit. And once it heats up, I'll start putting spoonfuls of the onion bhaji mixture in there to fry. And just a little side note, while the oil is heating up, I like to light some Nag Champa incense just to give it more of an authentic smell in here. I love the way Indian food makes my apartment smell, and lighting some Nag Champa incense just makes it smell even better. Makes it smell more authentic, like an Indian restaurant or something. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and set that out of the way, and it just kind of makes it smell good in here. To learn more about how to burn incense, watch my video on how to burn incense. Okay, it's been a few minutes, the oil is heated up, so what I'm going to do is take a spoon and just take spoonfuls of the mixture and put them in the oil. And what you want to do is just flatten it out a tad. I'm just going to keep doing that over and over again until the pan is full. And what you want to do is just check it. When the bottom starts to get darker, flip them over. Alright, so it's been a few minutes and I think they might be ready to flip. I think I might have used just a little bit too much oil, but that's alright. So I just want to look at the bottom, and when it starts getting darker, just flip it over. That's a nice color right there. Yeah, these are ready to flip. And if you have more than one pan, to save time, you know, you can use a couple pans to do this. So I'm going to flip these over and let them cook some more. So it's been a few more minutes and I think these are done. If I look on the bottom, you can see that that is nice and dark. It might actually be just a little too dark. So what I'm going to do is take them and put them on a paper plate with napkins on top, paper towels, to drain the oil. Oh yeah, look at those. Those look good. It smells delicious, along with that Nag Champa. This and the incense smells so good right now. I can't wait to eat these. So I'm going to let those sit there. I personally like to put another paper towel on top of things that I let sit like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some more. It's hard to do this with one hand. But in goes another spoonful. Now see, the oil is like condensed down now, so even though it looked like a lot of oil at first, it's a really good amount for the second batch. And I'm just going to just do it over again, and when those are cooled down enough to eat, I'll go ahead and make the final scene. Alright, so there you have it, a whole plate full of onion bhaji. Now, I like mine really dark like this, kind of like pakoras. Some of them are a little lighter on the other side. Some people like them to be like that light all the way around, but I like them dark and crispy, so I'm going to go ahead and eat some. Mmm. Oh, that is delicious. That is good. That is really good. I like that a lot. It's been a while since I made these. It's so oniony. I love it. So you want to keep the onion just big enough to where when you bite into it, some of the juice comes out. And you get that onion flavor. Mmm. So that's it on the onion bhaji. That tastes really authentic too. It tastes like something from an Indian restaurant. Like I said, I usually eat that along with something. That goes really, really well with chana masala or chickpea curry. when I make chickpea curry from scratch, I'll make some of that too. And I'll take a bite of chickpea curry, take a bite of that. Tastes really good together, or I'll dip it in the chickpea curry or put chickpea curry on top and take a bite. It's really good. So yeah, that is it for this video. I plan on making many more videos on cooked vegan food and raw vegan food in the future, and I will see you then. So thanks for watching.